What is the nitrogen cycle? And what is its importance? In this video we will discuss this in detail. In nature, fish are available in large volumes of water, like rivers and lakes, and in most of the cases the water is renewed frequently through running water and rain, so any toxins, or extra nutrients in the water column will probably be flushed out and cleaned, and the fish won't be impacted by any wastes in the water column, even if the wastes were not flushed out or neutralized from the water system. Then nature already contains all the types of microorganisms and bacteria that will handle neutralizing such toxins and extra nutrients. But what about the aquarium tank? The aquarium tank has a limited volume of water. Even for huge tanks, it is still a limited volume of water compared to what we see in rivers and lakes. So having the microorganisms and bacteria that neutralizes toxins and extra nutrients is not a luxury that the fish can live without. It is now a necessary that must happen for the survival of the fish. That's why it is important that we have what we call the nitrogen cycle in aquarium tanks. In simple words, the nitrogen cycle is to introduce into the tank the beneficial bacteria that take the extra waste substances and breaks them into a substance that won't harm the fish. So, how does this work? When you feed your fish, the fish won't eat everything, plus they will poop into the water. And if you have natural plants, some leaves might melt and die, leaving a lot of organic material in the water. This organic material converts to ammonia, and ammonia is toxic to your fish, and will eventually kill the fish. So how to remove this ammonia from the water column? This happens by introducing a bacteria called Nitrosomonas bacteria. This type of bacteria breaks the ammonia into nitrites, but can the fish live with the nitrites in the water column? The answer is no, although nitrites are less harmful than ammonia. But it will also harm your fish, and here comes the role of another bacteria called the Nitrobacter bacteria. This bacteria will convert the nitrites into nitrates, and the fish can live with the nitrates in the water column for a few days until you remove the excess nitrates through a water change. So, in summary, the nitrogen cycle is to introduce what we call the beneficial bacteria to the tank. These are mainly the Nitrosomonas bacteria to convert ammonia to nitrites and the Nitrobacter bacteria to convert nitrites to nitrates. This nitrogen cycle takes time to be ready, and in my opinion the best approach is by using a product that introduces the beneficial bacteria to the water directly. An example for such product is Seachem Stability. While using such products you need to make sure to follow the product instructions, which will differ from one product to the other. One other thing that you need to take into consideration while using such products is that you need to feed the beneficial bacteria, so adding a small pinch of fish food to the water is always recommended. Some people might manage to create their nitrogen cycle by using a filter or filter media from an already cycled tank, or even add the filter of your new tank together with its filter media in the old cycled tank for a couple of weeks before introducing it to the new tank. This should be enough so that the beneficial bacteria colonizes the new filter and hence gets introduced to the new tank. Having said that, please note that the beneficial bacteria resides on everything in the tank. It resides on the gravel, on the hardscape, whether they're rocks or wood, on the plants, the plastic decorations, and even on the glass or acrylic panels. The only place where there is no much bacteria is the water column itself. Just take care of the following important points. Taking some water from a cycled tank and adding it to the new tank might introduce some beneficial bacteria, but it won't be enough to have a full nitrogen cycle. Don't over-clean your tank while making the periodic cleanup or water change so that you don't destroy the nitrogen cycle. After cleanup and changing like 20 to 30% of the tank water, and if you are already using a beneficial bacteria product, then it is always advisable to add some of this product to the water, which usually comes in a liquid form. Having explained the nitrogen cycle, then what is the bacteria bloom, and is it harmful? When the tank water suddenly gets cloudy without any obvious reasons related to adding dirty gravel, sand or hardscape, then the water cloudiness means that there is a sudden spike in the amount of bacteria in the water column. This happens normally at the very beginning of the nitrogen cycle, and it should clear out in a few days, but if you finished already the nitrogen cycle, and then the water gets cloudy all of a sudden, then this is an indication that there is an ammonia or nitrite spike in the tank. This might happen when you introduce a huge number of fish, or due to excessive feeding which introduces a lot of nutrients in the water column. When this happens the bacteria starts to reproduce very fast in a way to get rid of the excess waste or nutrients. This is an indication that the tank is unstable and a cleanup plus a water change is always advisable in such case. If you like this video, then don't forget to subscribe, click on the like button and ring the bell for the notifications. And until the next video, take a look at these two videos as well. I believe you will be interested in these topics.